Welcome, welcome, boys. Okay, in this video we're back with Dodge Challenger, and we are going to replace the front struts. So we already got the wheel off, and looking in here, looks like we have to deal with the sway bar end link bolted through the strut here. It also looks like the strut itself is mounted down here at the knuckle, and it's encased in this upper control arm here, bolted to the knuckle. And then of course on the top we have our, I'm going to assume these are 313 mils. Every one I've taken off so far in my life is 13 mil. And then of course on the top it looks like they were nice enough to give us a shaft here that we can grip. So what we'll do is figure out what size nut that is, hold it down, figure out what size bit we need for here, and then tighten it, and that'll spin that nut off and allow us to get all of our mounts and springs, etc. over, so we can transplant it onto the new strut. So what I'm hoping is when I go to loosen this off that joint there, that end link, it doesn't spin. If it does, I think maybe I might be able to hold this and then do the kind of the same concept above, is figure out what size socket will fit over this and tighten it, and then that'll loosen that nut. So that should go semi-smoothly. Getting out of here may be a pain, but what I'm hoping will happen is once I disconnect it from down here, this knuckle and everything will drop a little, enough for me to kind of pivot this thing and lift it up over here, I hope, because this is going to have to go down. I'm not going to be strong enough to compress the spring by myself and move that strut up. And then once that clears that, I can kind of maybe just drop it out here at an angle. But we'll see how that goes. I might have to turn the wheels a little to maybe get some clearance. I don't know. We'll figure out how that goes. And while we're here, we can check the brakes. Looks like this front brakes still have a decent amount of material on them compared to the rear. So alright, I'll set you guys up and let's get to seeing what size sockets and wrenches we need here. Okay, so first order business at the bottom here where the strut mounts. We have a 24 millimeter nut to the right and an 18 millimeter bolt to the left. So I'll hold this one in place with my 18 mil and try to bust this loose with the impact of the 24 mil. Okay, boys, upon further examination, that nut on this side is actually welded to the strut. So you can pull and prod and whatever on that all damn day. It ain't budging. So get your 18 millimeter and then impact it off the other side. That's the game plan. See how easy that was? Let's try 19. Bigger than that even. 21. 21 for the sway bar end link. So let's see if I can just impact it off, or if I'm going to have to get a 21 millimeter wrench and hold it, and then tighten the shaft. Ah, it's spinning. Alright, 21 mil, try it 10. 10 looks like it'll fit on that shaft. I have a 10 millimeter impact. Okay, so let's try that then. Try holding this in place for 21. Getting our 10 on here. Tightening the shaft. Perfect. her done, boys. Getting her done. Alright, now let's go up top and take the three 13s. Then I should be able to drop this motherfucker clean the hell out of here. We'll try anyway. Alright, now comes the fun part, trying to finagle that thing out of its spot. Okay, what I'm going to try to do is pop this ball joint out of place. Like that. And, alright, well, now we can do it. Alright. Well, that was a success. Moving. Okay, boys, so we got our paint mark all the way down, so we know exactly where center is. Spring needs to be, the center of that spring is lined up with this dude right here, so all that needs to be centered, or you're going to have a hell of a time getting it back in. Okay, so with that said, an 18mm is the nut, and 8mm is the shaft. So we will get our 18mm wrench in place and tighten the shaft with an 8. And then we should be able to get that off. But first, you do have to compress the springs. So looks like I'm going to do maybe, well, however many I can get, I guess, on one side and then the other. But we'll just do opposite left and right. You want one side of your clamp starting from the bottom to go as far up as you can. One side starting from the top. Go down as far as you can, and then compress them alternatively until we take the tension off the spring. Once the spring tension is not on this cap anymore, that's when we'll go ahead and bust this thing loose. So I'm going to time lapse that. Okay, now I'm going to attempt to do this by myself. I got to take that nut that's on that ball joint back out of there again. And then that should drop everything down. Slide this back up in there. Hopefully start it and get it in there. Get it back on where it needs to go, and then we'll be good to go. It's probably easier done with two people, but as usual, nobody ever wants to help me. Okay, boys, and you'll see the new strut did not come with this welded nut on there, but the kit came with one. It's a 21 millimeter, so then I just used my 18 to hold the bolt and then torque that nut down. So that's good. Now I just need to get the ball joint in. So I'm going to have to get another jack and jack this up since I don't have another human to help me. Alright, boys, that's one strut in. Need to grease this ball joint. But she's in, torqued. Guess we'll put the sway bar end link back in. That's torqued. The 313s up top are torqued. So that's it. That's how we change a strut. Front strut on our Dodge Challenger. Guess I'll time lapse the other side for you, since you get the idea. Alright, boys, I've been struggling with this one for a minute. The ball joint kept spinning on me, and if you look up in there, a number 6 hex will fit. So you gotta put number 6 hex up into the ball joint. That'll keep it from spinning while you use your 18 to torque down this nut. So be aware of that. That was actually the hardest part on this side. It took me fucking forever to even notice that, but it's there, so you're going to save yourself a lot of time by watching this first. Ball joint spins, 6 millimeter hex. Stick it in there, and then crank down on your nut. Alright, she's back together. Got the new strut in. Got these torqued on top of 13 mils. So we are road ready. I'll go ahead and put the wheel back on. Already got it on the other side, so she's done on that side. So put the wheel back on, and then we are done. So that's how we change the front struts on our 2010 Dodge Challenger. Thanks for watching, boys. Peace.